Hello there. Welcome back. And I want to start by asking you one simple question. Have you ever woken up with stiff knees, tingling fingers, or a dull backache that follows you all day? And then told yourself, well, I guess that's just aging? But what if I told you it's not just your age? It might actually be what's on your plate. As a bone and joint specialist, I'm here to show you three vegetables that seem harmless, but may quietly be destroying your joints from the inside. And more importantly, I'll show you what to eat instead to feel stronger and more mobile after 60. 1. Raw cruciferous vegetables like cabbage and broccoli. Let me paint a picture for you. It's a warm summer afternoon. You're enjoying a healthy salad full of raw cabbage and crisp broccoli. You feel proud. This is a good choice, right? But a few hours later, your stomach feels bloated, you're uncomfortable, and by the evening, your knees are aching again. Have you ever felt like that? One of my patients, Linda, 67, came in with persistent joint pain despite having a very clean diet. She avoided sugar, fried foods, and ate leafy greens every day. But when I asked for details, I discovered she was eating raw cabbage and raw broccoli almost daily. Here's what most people over 60 don't realize. Raw cruciferous vegetables can become a burden for an aging digestive system. When digestion slows down, your body can't properly absorb key nutrients like calcium, magnesium, or vitamin K, nutrients that your joints desperately need to stay healthy. Without them, joints weaken over time. And the worst part? It doesn't happen overnight. It's slow, silent, like a rusty door hinge that squeaks a little more each day, until one day it just won't open. I'm not saying you should eliminate these vegetables. They're full of good stuff. But lightly steaming, sautéing, or blanching them can unlock their nutrients and make them gentler on your body. Pain is not something you have to accept with age. Sometimes a small change in how you eat something familiar can lead to a big difference you never saw coming. 2. Corn, the hidden trigger of joint inflammation. Let me share a short story. Richard, a 72-year-old retired engineer from Arizona, came to see me because his knees hurt so badly he had to use a cane. He didn't smoke, he didn't eat fried foods, and he kept his weight under control. But there was one small detail people often overlook. Every morning, he ate cornbread and cornflakes with milk. I thought I was eating healthy, he told me. And that's the exact point I want to make. Corn may look innocent, even nutritious, but it's one of the hidden causes of joint inflammation, especially when consumed regularly. Most corn today is genetically modified and very high in omega-6 fats. When omega-6 outweighs omega-3 in your body, it fuels chronic inflammation, especially in connective tissues like cartilage. You won't notice it at first, but over time, your fingers feel tighter, your knees hurt on the stairs, and one morning, getting out of bed takes longer than ever. It gets worse. Corn causes rapid spikes in blood sugar. High blood sugar, over time, damages the tiny blood vessels that feed your joints. When these vessels break down, the joints lose their supply line. They dry out. They crack. They hurt. I'm not saying you must avoid corn entirely, but if it's part of your daily routine, even in small amounts in soups, baked goods, or snacks, try cutting back for a while. Swap it for whole grains, steamed veggies, or roasted sweet potatoes. Sometimes the foods we think are harmless are actually the ones making our bodies cry out for help. And changing that one small thing on your plate might just be the key to walking easier tomorrow. 3. Tomatoes and other nightshades, like bell peppers, eggplants, white potatoes. I had a patient once, Harold, 68, who had what most people would call a picture-perfect diet. His meals were full of color: juicy red tomatoes, vibrant bell peppers, mashed white potatoes. But every time the weather turned cold, his knuckles swelled and throbbed like needles pricking from the inside. He once said to me, "Doc, I take my meds religiously. Why are my joints still killing me?" And that's when I asked about the foods he was eating every day: tomatoes, bell peppers, eggplants, and white potatoes. They all belong to the nightshade family. They contain a natural compound called solanine. Now, solanine doesn't affect everyone, but for older adults, especially those with joint conditions, it can trigger or worsen inflammation, leading to stiffness, swelling, and dull aches. The tricky part? These foods feel so familiar, so harmless. A glass of tomato juice in the morning, roasted potatoes on Sunday dinner. They don't seem like the cause of your knee pain, but they very well could be. What I often recommend to my patients is simple. Try cutting out nightshades for just 2 weeks. That's it. If you feel less stiff, more mobile, you feel less stiff, more mobile. Your body has just given you the answer. You can swap tomatoes for pumpkin, potatoes for sweet potatoes, and use lightly cooked greens in place of peppers. No need to eliminate everything. Just listen to your body. Because sometimes what we think is healthy might be the very reason our joints can't get any rest. Aging doesn't mean living in pain. Many times, small tweaks in what you eat can restore your flexibility, reduce inflammation, and help you feel lighter in your own body. So please listen to your body. It's always sending you messages, sometimes in whispers, sometimes in aches. If what I shared today helped you look at your diet differently, give this video a like and share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to hit subscribe so we can keep walking this journey of health, strength, and freedom together, especially after 60.